Now, today's practice was worked on a lot of red zone for the last 2 days. Yesterday, you guys know we worked a lot in the red zone of keeping people out the end zone, but also scoring. We have an opportunity. Had a couple situations in the red zone today. Put the ball on the 6-yard line, 0 time, no timeouts, 16 seconds left to go in the game. You have to get 2 plays in. Just making the quarterback knowing don't take a negative play, but also get the ball out your hand because we have another play. Okay, so we worked on those type of situations today. Also, we did a lot of punt return situations, just working on the field position like always. Got to find a way to get field positions in the game and just grind it on third down. Third down defense was big, being consistent on getting the third down, but also defensively getting off the field on third down. The things we've got to be more consistent at improvement for this game coming up is those situations.
What are the things you want Malik to improve on?
Overall game. Every week you want a quarterback to improve his overall game. He did a nice job, but now he's got to do a great job this upcoming week. And, day was the first day coming back as far as putting in the whole game plan and what we're going to do. And he got to be consistent tomorrow. Build on what we did today and work on it tomorrow.
How many design runs were there the other day for him? I mean, or did he just choose?
They read. You just depending on what the defensive end is doing. Everybody in college football is doing it. You read on what the defensive end is doing. He closes, quarterback keeps. He stays with the quarterback, running back runs. So it's just a read deal.
It's an element, though, that he can bring to this offense, isn't it?
It's an element. It's an element for, anytime you have an opportunity to do those certain things, you can and take advantage of what you can at that particular time.
Have you been able to put your finger on why you guys maybe haven't started a little bit quicker out of the gates?
I don't make excuses, but like I said the other day, we don't have any veterans right now. Okay, we got to build on a guy like Reese, build on some other guys to start fast and do certain things. Early in the year when we had a lot of veterans on this team, we were starting fast. But right now we're trying to depend on these young guys to crank it up a little bit, and because they're at Florida. We don't make any excuses because you're young, you're a veteran now, you played some games and you represent the Gators.
You got a sense for whether Marcel might come back next year? Or?
I don't know. I really don't know. You got to talk to Paul, and whenever that time comes. He has an injury of Achilles. Whenever that heals, it heals, and whenever he feels to come back, he'll come back.
Speaking of another guy that we haven't heard much of around the program right now, Kimanis Davis, that accident. You spoken to him,
I went to see him a couple of times. I've talked to him. We keep in contact with him. He's doing well in good spirits, talking, joking around, and his mindset is to get healthy and come back.
I did have one.
Coach, what was it like to see Dre Massey finally have a big game, especially with the injury last year?
Well, it was good for him and good for this football team because the opportunity to get a guy that has playmaking ability, the ball in his hands to make plays. Like anything else, once a guy shows he can do it, you have to find ways to get the ball back in his hands, and we find ways to get him the ball in his hands so he can make plays for us.
How important is it for this team to start fast?
It's very important. Like anything, you always want to start fast, move the field, score on the first drive. You always got to score the first drive, and defensively, you got to hold somebody out of scoring. So those things that we work every day, we start practice off with a 2-minute situation. Game and also start off practice with perfect plays. So we're doing those things to get the guys to focus on the fundamentals and the small things.
You mentioned after the game that after those 2 penalties, you benched the guys. Joanne and Ivy, did you bench them in the game?
Just took them out. That's unacceptable. Yeah, that's unacceptable when you have an opportunity to score points and you get negative plays. You're in the red zone and those things happen. That's all mental. I mean, that's nothing. Listen, in football, if you physically get beat, or if you're not fast enough, or athletically you're just not good enough, okay, we can accept those things. That's called recruiting, getting you strong in the weight room, and building your speed. But if mental part of the game, that's unacceptable. Me concentrating on when the snap count on, or me concentrating looking at the ball and seeing when it's snapped. Those mental reps, those are things we cannot afford.
So given the last 2 weeks, because there were a lot of those, especially against Georgia, what are you doing to kind of...
You work on the snap count. You work on the snap count every day, and you work on guys concentrating. Working on it at the end of the practice, when you've won a long day, you work on it with a little bit of fatigue situations.
Is it surprising, though, 2 guys like that, they're like your 2 best linemen, pretty much?
Well, it happens to everybody, but you got to work on it. You can't assume that those guys are going to be the guys who do it every time. You got to work on it constantly, all the time.
When you went back and looked at the defensive film, did you see maybe a lack of effort, or was it?
Okay, not to say this in a bad way, but we on South Carolina now, so I can't keep talking about Missouri.
You got to shore up what happens at.
Yeah, but we got to worry about what South Carolina do. I can't go and say let's talk about Missouri. I'm not being disrespectful. I just don't want to keep talking about Missouri. Now, if you want to say me what South Carolina probably going to do, because South Carolina going to line up in 3 receiver sets and go spread offense. They're going to run the ball inside, get the tight end to cut off the defensive end. Then they're going to come in the game with 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, and they're going to run the same offense, but they're going to try to get the ball in the passing game to 81. 81 going to try to match up on Reese making some plays. We got to do a very good job of getting Reese to cover those plays and also being able to play the run. That's what South Carolina going to do. So I don't mean to be, but that's just, we got to move on from that.
No, I just wondering if there's like a focal point for the defense in terms of cleaning things up.
South Carolina.
In terms of South Carolina's defense, I mean, obviously Will Muschamp's, like you, been a good defensive coordinator for many years. What do you like about what scheme he runs?
Well, the scheme has changed a little bit from the beginning to the end, and I know that, Will's going to do a great job wherever he goes. They run the odd front, they run a four-man front. He probably give, Kirby, because Kirby's friends, like anything in coaching, you share ideas. He's going to give Kirby a call to see what they do against us to give us problems. So we got to make sure we concentrate on what we got to get done and focus on what they're doing on film, but also understand here's some things that hurt you throughout the season. So you fix the problems that you had throughout the season, but you work on what you see on film. And that's all you can do at that particular time.
What's the response you've seen attitude-wise?
Good. Flying around, guys, a little bit better than last week. We started practice and we ended fast. We didn't have a lot of repeats today in practice. So those are things that the guys are focused. Now, if we started at a certain time and we finished 15 minutes late, that means we wasn't very focused. That means we're just going through the motions. We didn't do that. We finished it today at 5 minutes earlier, so that was a start.